Today we are going to discuss study hub practice question of the cost volume profit analysis of F5. Now let's start. The question number one. Mario operates a small business that makes pizzas and delivers them within a 2 miles radius. The variable cost incurred to make the and deliver one pizza is 12.5. What is your variable cost? Variable cost per unit is 2.15. The average price charged 6.5 per pizza, including delivery charges. Selling price is 6.5. Mario estimates the annual fixed cost of his business as 40,000, including salaries of 24,000. Salaries are already included in the fixed cost. What is your annual fixed cost? Fixed cost of the business is 40,000. Now, what is the requirement? He said, what is the break-even number of pizzas per year for the Mario's business to the nearest units? You have to calculate the break-even point in number of pizzas. So, you calculate contribution per unit. What is contribution per unit? 6.5 minus 2.15. You will get your contribution per unit, that is 4.35. Now you will calculate your break-even point. In units, fixed cost is 40,000 divided by 4.35. You will get your contribution 9135 units. Sorry, 9195 units. Option C is right option. Now, next question. Adamian manufacturing a single product which sells for 325. What is the selling price? Selling price is 325, has the following units cost structure. Direct material 95, direct labor is 78, variable overhead is 56, fixed overhead is 45, total cost is 274. In the coming period, the budgeted production volume is 10,000 units. What is the budgeted break-even sales volume to nearest unit? You have to calculate the break-even units. So your selling price is 325. You will less all the variable costs up to variable overheads. Then you will get the contribution per unit. Contribution per unit is equal to 325 minus material cost 95 minus labor cost 78 minus overhead 56. Then you will get your contribution per unit. That is 96. $325. Now, what is your total fixed cost? Fixed cost is equal to per unit fixed cost is 45. How many units you are going to sell? That is 10,000. You have total fixed cost of 4,50,000 divided by contribution per unit, that is 96. You will get the units, that is 4688. 4688. This is the right option. Now, Graydon Company has a production capacity of 280,000 units per year. The budgeted sales volume for the next year is 256,000 units, and the break-even volume is 1,67,000 units. What is the margin of safety ratio? What is your budgeted production capacity? That is 280. Budgeted sales volume is 256 and break-even unit. So what is the formula for percentage of margin of safety? Margin of safety. Budgeted sales minus break-even sales divided by budgeted sales multiply by 100. Okay. Now, what is your budgeted sales? Budgeted sales is 256,000 minus break-even 167,000 units divided by 256,000 multiplied by 100. So you will get your answer, that is 34.8. B option is right option. 34.8%. Now, the next question. Ballon Company manufactures a single product which has the variable cost of 17. What is your variable cost? Variable cost is 17. And they currently sells for 30. What is your selling price? That is 30. The budgeted sales volume is 25,000 units per month. And the budgeted fixed cost is 250,000 per month. The divisional manager is considering reducing the price 27 to increase the sales. He also wishes to increase the monthly profit by 10%. What volume of sales is required at a new selling price to increase the profit by 10%? Okay, you want to calculate the required or the target profit. So for the calculation of target profit, what is your previous profit? You have a selling price of 30, variable cost of 17, and units is 25,000. Budget fixed cost is 250. First of all, you calculate your units. How much is your contribution per unit? Contribution per unit is 30 minus 17. It is 30 into units, that is 25,000. You will get total contribution. Your total contribution is 3,25,000. Okay. Now, less the fixed cost to calculate the profit because you want to earn the same profit. with decrease in sale price. Your fixed cost is 2,50,000 per year. That is 13,800. So 3,25,000 minus 2,50,000, it's 75,000. 75,000 is your required profit. 3,25,000 minus 2,50,000. Now, the divisional manager is considering reducing the price by 27 to increase the sales. He also wishes to increase the monthly profit by 10%. Your profit will increase by 10%. You will take 110% of this profit. It becomes 82,500. Okay. He said variable cost is 17 and selling price is 30. You calculate contribution per unit, then we calculate the total contribution and less the fixed cost, we get the contribution before we get the profit before the adding any units. Okay. Now he said your profit will also increase by 10% if you decrease the selling price by 27. Okay. Your selling price is now new selling price is 27. I will calculate my required units to get the required profit of 82,000. Target units equals to fixed cost. Fixed cost is 2,50,000 plus required profit. Required profit is 82,500 divided by contribution per unit. What is your contribution per unit? That is new selling price is 27 minus 17. Okay. Then you will get 33,250 units. So which option is right option? Option C is right option. Option C, 33,250. Okay. Now move towards the next question. Jim Bowen has been trading for the last 6 months as a food retailer. His average contribution to sales ratio for that period is 33% on the sales of 120,000. His total fixed expense is 25,800. He is considering employing an extra member of staff as he anticipates an increase in the business. The cost of new employee will 18,000 per year. To stimulate the sales, Jim will also reduce the contribution to sales ratio to 30%. What percentage of increase in sales is needed for the gym to earn the same net profit in the next 6 months as he earned in the first 6 months? So, first of all, you have to calculate the profit of the first 6 months. Okay. What is your profit for the first 6 months? Your contribution to sales ratio is 33%. So what it means, how much is your contribution? Your contribution is 33% of sales. That is 39,000. I will calculate my contribution of first 6 months or profit of the first 6 months. What is your total contribution? 1,20,000 sales into 33%. You will get your contribution of 39,600. Now for the profit calculation, less the fixed cost. How much is your fixed cost? Before, in first 6 months, that is 25,800. You will get your profit. What is your profit? 14,200. 14,200 is your profit. Sorry, it is 13,800. Is your profit. Now he said he considering an extra member of the staff anticipate into increase in the business. This will cost 18,000 per year. Now we are going to calculate for the half year. Okay, so we will divide it into two and we will get the fixed cost of 9,000. Your fixed cost increase, your new fixed cost is total fixed cost after adding new member is 25,800 plus 18,000 divided by 2. 25,800 plus 9,000, you will get your fixed cost. That is 34,800. How much is your required profit? But he said, what percentage of increase in sales is needed for the gym to earn the same profit in the next 6 months as earned in the first 6 months? So we will calculate our new required or target profit units. Percentage of increase in sales. Fixed cost plus required profit, that is 13,800. He said your contribution to sales ratio is 0.3 now with the change. So you get 1,62,000 revenue. Okay. Now I want to get the percentage of increase. Percentage of increase equal to increase in revenue 162,000 minus 120,000 divided by 162 multiplied by 100. So you will get your answer. That is 35%. Option C is right option. Now question number 6. A company manufactures one product which it sells for 40 per unit. The product has a contribution to sales ratio of 40%. Monthly total fixed cost is 60,000. At the plant level of activity for the next month, the company has a margin of safety of 64,000 expressed in terms of sales value. What is the planned level of activity in units for the next month? You have to calculate the unit activity, planned activity. A company manufactures a product which it sells for 40. The product has contribution to sales ratio of 40%, monthly fixed cost of 60,000. You will calculate your break-even revenue first. Break-even revenue is equal to 60,000 divided by 0.4. You will get your break-even revenue. That is 1,50,000. Now, what is the formula for margin of safety? Margin of safety is equal to budgeted sales minus break-even sales. Margin of safety is given in question, that is 64,000. Budgeted sales I have to find, and the break-even sales we have calculated, that is 1,50,000. So you can solve for X. 150,000 plus 64,000. So you will get 2,14,000. 2,14,000. I want to calculate in terms of units. So what we will do, we will divide it on units, unit price, and we will get in terms of units. That is 5,350. Option C is right option. A break-even chart for the company is depicted as follows. Break-even chart is given. Revenue and total cost, this is your break-even point, okay? Total cost include fixed cost plus variable cost. Keep in mind. Which one of the following statement is consistent with the above chart? Both selling price per unit and variable cost per unit is constant. Selling price per unit is constant, but variable cost per unit increase for the sales over 4,000 units. Variable cost per unit is constant, but the selling price per unit increase for the sales over 4,000 unit. This statement is wrong. Variable, your revenue line is all variable line. Okay? Your variable line. Selling price per unit increase for the sales over 4,000 units, and there is an increase in the total fixed cost of 4,000. Selling price, no, and there is increase in no. Option D is also a wrong option. So now you have to decide from A and B. Your cost change in 4,000 is only because of the fixed cost element, not because of the variable cost element. So option A is right option. Option B is wrong because he said your sales price increase because of units. Now, the next question. A company makes and sells three products R, D, and S. Extracts for the weekly profit statement are as follows. Sales RST is given, variable cost, fixed cost, and profit. General fixed cost is absorbed using absorption rate. If the mix of product produced and sold is changed to 20%, 50%, and 30%, what effect of this on the weighted average contribution to sales ratio? So you have to calculate the weighted average contribution to sales ratio. First, I have to calculate the weighted average contribution to sales ratio before change. What is your standard mix? Standard mix is 1, 15, 20. Sorry, 2. 1.5, sorry. Ten thousand divided by 10,000 is equal to 1. 15,000 divided by 10 is equal to 1.5, and 20,000 divided by 10,000 is equal to 2. Variable cost is given in the question. Fixed cost is also given in the question. Your total fixed cost is 12,000. Now, what is your total revenue? 10, 15, and 20. It is 45,000. You will calculate your contribution per unit of R, S, and T. That is 6,000. Again, 6,000. 10,000. What is your total contribution? It is 22,000. Total contribution divided by total sales, that is 45,000. Your CS ratio is 4.4888. This is your weighted average CS ratio. Now I have to calculate my new percentage, that is R is 20%, 50%, and 30%. You will calculate your individual contribution to sales ratio also. 6,000 divided by 10,000, it is 60%. It is 40%. Next is 50%. Okay. This is your individual contribution to sales ratio. My total sales is 45,000. Now it will change to 20%, 80%, and 30%. I will calculate my new units. Listen, T. 45,000 divided by 100 multiplied by 20. Your new unit is 9,000 for R. For S, it is 22,500. And for T, it is 13,500. Your total sales is 45,000. Now we will calculate our contribution. What is our contribution? It is 60%, 9,000 into 0.6, 5,400. Nine thousand 13,500 into 0.4, 6,750. Okay, this is your contribution for each product. Now we will calculate our total contribution. 5,400 plus 9,000 plus 6,750 divided by 45,000. This is your new weighted average contribution to sales ratio. It is 0.47. Okay. Your ratio is first your ratio is 0.48, it will decrease. So option A is right option. It will decrease. Oh, sorry. B option is right option, not C. B option is right option. Now, question number 9. The following information is available for the manufacturing company which produces multiple products. The product mix ratio, contribution to sales ratio for each product, general fixed cost, method of apportioning general fixed cost. Which of the above are required in order to calculate the break-even sales revenue for the company? Method of apportioning general fixed cost is not included. So 1, 2, and 3 all are the correct option. Option A is right option. Okay. Now, question number 10. A company makes a single product which it sells for 2 per unit. Fixed cost is 13,000 per month. The contribution to sales ratio is 40%. Sales revenue is 62,500. What is margin of safety in terms of units? You have to calculate the margin of safety. First of all, calculate your contribution per unit. Contribution per unit is equal to selling price into 40%. You will get your contribution per unit. That is 0.8. Now you will calculate your break-even units. How much is your break-even units? 30,000 divided by 0.8. It's 16,250 units. What is your budgeted unit? 62,500 divided by 2. It is 31,250 units. Budgeted units. 62,500 divided by 2. You will get the units, that is 31,250. Now calculate the margin of safety, that is 31,250 minus 16,250. You will get your margin of safety. That is 15,000. So option A is right option. Now question number 11.